What if the healthiest change you could make right now has nothing to do with giving things up, but simply adding something in? No rules. No restrictions. Just one small addition to your plate that could quietly transform how your body feels after every meal. I'm talking about a fruit that's been studied in heart labs, brain health research, and male hormone recovery, but still gets overlooked in most kitchens. Most men over 60 don't think twice about what goes next to their meat, rice, or toast. But the truth is, the thing missing from your plate might be the very thing your arteries, your energy, and your confidence are waiting for. This isn't a miracle cure. It's not some exotic superfood from across the globe. It's a fruit you already know, maybe even already have, but probably haven't been using the right way. And when you do, something subtle but powerful starts to shift. Better digestion. More stable blood pressure. Sharper focus after meals. And maybe, just maybe, a quiet return of something you thought was gone. Stay with me for a few minutes, I'll show you exactly what this fruit is, how to use it with the meals you're already eating, and what men over 60 have told me after just 1 week of adding it in. This could be the simplest change you've never tried, but the one your body will thank you for the most. Let's get into it. Every day, 3 times a day, we sit down to eat. Breakfast is a couple slices of toast, maybe a fried egg or 2. Lunch might be a sandwich or leftover pasta. Dinner, some meat, a starch, maybe a little sauce. It fills you up. It's what you've always eaten. But something's been changing. You finish your meal and feel sluggish. Heavier than you should. Not just in your stomach, but in your legs, in your breath, in your mood. You don't feel fed, you feel slowed down. The food isn't the enemy. But what's missing from that plate? That's where the trouble begins. See, these meals, though familiar and comforting, are what I call too dry. They're low in water, low in fiber, and most importantly, low in compounds that protect your arteries and help your blood move freely. No fruit. No antioxidants. No natural compounds to soften the impact of carbs, fats, or meat. When you eat like that, day in, day out, your blood flow suffers. Digestion slows. Your heart works harder. Your brain feels a bit more foggy after every bite. It's not about cutting out meat or carbs. It's about what's not there to balance them. There's one fruit, humble, affordable, and easy to find, that can act like a repair crew on your plate. It adds back what time, stress, and processed food take away. And when you include it in every meal, not only does your digestion improve, but your energy lifts, your blood vessels relax, and your meals go from heavy to healing. I'll show you what that fruit is next. It's not exotic. It's not expensive. And you've probably walked past it in the grocery store 100 times, without knowing it could be the missing link between your plate and your health. Berries. Blueberries. Raspberries. Blackberries. Strawberries. That's it. These aren't trendy superfoods. They're real food with real power. Especially for men over 60. Berries are packed with polyphenols, natural plant compounds that act like shields for your arteries. They fight the microscopic inflammation that builds up in your blood vessels after every meal. They also help your body produce nitric oxide, the same molecule responsible for opening your blood vessels and keeping blood flowing freely to your brain, heart, and lower body. But their power goes beyond the blood. Berries also slow down sugar absorption, keeping your energy steady after meals, support memory, thanks to anthocyanins that protect brain cells, improve digestion by feeding the good bacteria in your gut. And they protect testosterone by lowering oxidative stress and blood sugar spikes that quietly drain your hormones over time. Think of berries not as dessert, but as a buffer, a natural counterbalance to heavier foods. You eat meat? Great. Add berries to help your vessels stay relaxed. You enjoy carbs? Fine. Berries can prevent those carbs from becoming a sugar crash. You're trying to lose weight, improve blood pressure, or feel lighter. Berries are your simplest ally. You don't need a bowl full. Even half a cup with your meal makes a difference. They hydrate. They cleanse. They rebuild. And when you make them part of your routine, not just an occasional treat, they begin to reshape your internal chemistry, one meal at a time. Still skeptical? Let me tell you about Joe, a man who didn't change what he ate, but simply added a handful of berries to every plate. And 10 days later, everything felt different. Joe is 68 years old. He lives just outside Columbus, Ohio. Retired truck driver. Still wakes up at 6 a.m. out of habit. Still cooks his eggs the same way, fried, over hard. Still eats lunch at noon, dinner at 6. When he first came to see me, he said, "Doc, I don't feel bad, but I don't feel good either." He wasn't sick. But he wasn't himself. After meals, he'd feel foggy. His blood pressure was creeping up. He was getting that mid-afternoon crash, the kind where you feel like you've aged 5 years between lunch and dinner. He didn't want to overhaul his life. He just wanted to feel sharp again. Light again. In control again. So I gave him one thing. Not a new diet. Not a supplement. Just a small challenge. Joe, I want you to keep eating what you're already eating. Just add half a cup of berries to every meal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He paused. Even with dinner? I nodded. Even with dinner, no big changes. Just addition. And here's what happened. Day 3, his digestion improved. Less bloating. Day 5, he stopped nodding off after lunch. His focus sharpened. Day 7, his wife told him he looked more energized. He hadn't said anything yet, but she saw it. Day 10, he came back to my office with a grin. Not a huge one. But the kind a man wears when something inside has started to come back online. "Doc," he said, "I didn't change what I eat. But I feel better after I eat. Lighter. Clearer. It's like my body's not fighting my food anymore." That's what happens when the body gets what it needs to balance out the damage, instead of just surviving it. Joe didn't need to remove the foods he loved. He just needed to give his system a partner, something to work with, not against. And that's what berries became for him. A quiet, simple shift that changed how his whole body responded to food. And there's a reason why it worked. Let me show you the science behind it, because this isn't magic. It's chemistry, aging, blood flow, and the fruit that helps you keep them all in check. Here's the truth that no one explains clearly. After age 60, your body doesn't digest food the same way. It doesn't respond to carbs the same way. And it definitely doesn't recover from heavy meals the same way. But that doesn't mean it's broken. It just means the system needs support, especially where inflammation and blood flow are concerned. That's where berries step in. Let's break it down into 5 simple reasons why this fruit works especially well for men over 60. 1. Polyphenols protect your arteries. Berries are packed with polyphenols, natural plant compounds that act like bodyguards for your blood vessels. They reduce oxidative stress, lower inflammation, and help your endothelium, the inner lining of your arteries, stay flexible. Flexible arteries equals better circulation. Better circulation equals more oxygen to your brain, heart, muscles, and lower body. That means sharper thinking, stronger energy, and yes, more vitality where it counts. 2. Nitric oxide production gets a boost as men age. Nitric oxide production declines. This is the molecule that relaxes your blood vessels. Berries, especially dark ones like blueberries and blackberries, help the body naturally increase nitric oxide, improving blood flow without medications or side effects. It's the same pathway those little blue pills target, only this time, nature's doing the work. 3. Fiber slows down sugar spikes. Most men don't realize that a large plate of rice, pasta, or even bread can cause a sharp blood sugar spike, followed by a crash that leaves you tired, foggy, or irritable. Berries contain soluble fiber, which slows digestion and stabilizes blood sugar after a meal. That means fewer crashes, fewer cravings, and steadier energy throughout the day. 4. Antioxidants support testosterone and brain health. Oxidative stress damages more than just your arteries, it also chips away at your testosterone levels and cognitive clarity. The anthocyanins in berries help fight this stress at the cellular level, protecting hormone balance and keeping your brain sharp. Some studies even show that regular berry intake is linked to slower cognitive decline in aging men. Translation? Your memory stays clearer. Your mood stays steadier. And your hormones stay stronger. 5. Vitamin C and natural hydration aid. Post-meal recovery. Berries are rich in vitamin C, which helps repair tissues and supports collagen in your blood vessels. They also contain natural water and electrolytes, helping to hydrate your body instead of drying it out like processed snacks often do. That's why men who eat berries with meals often say they feel lighter after eating, not weighed down or sluggish. In short, berries cool the fire your meal starts. They clean up the small, invisible damage food can cause, and they do it quietly, without needing any effort on your part. This is why, when men over 60 start adding berries to their meals, they don't just feel fed, they feel restored. And if you're wondering how to start without overthinking it, I'll walk you through 3 easy ways to make this fruit a part of your everyday meals, without changing what you already love to eat. Let's get practical next. Let's keep this simple. You don't need to count calories. You don't need to give up your favorite foods. And you definitely don't need to eat bowls of salad all day long. All you need is this, about half a cup of berries, 2 to 3 times a day. That's it. Fresh or frozen. Morning or night. This works as long as you stay consistent. Let me show you 3 easy, realistic ways to include berries with the meals you're already eating. 1. Breakfast. Add to what you already eat. If you start your morning with oatmeal, cereal, toast, or eggs, berries fit in naturally. Add a handful of blueberries or raspberries to your oatmeal or yogurt. Mix them into a morning smoothie. Eat them on the side with your toast and eggs. Want extra energy support? Try berries with Greek yogurt and a sprinkle of chia seeds. It'll give your gut fuel, your brain clarity, and your blood sugar a smoother start to the day. 2. Lunch. The midday power pair. Lunch is usually where men slip into autopilot, sandwiches, leftovers, or fast food. This is where berries make a surprising difference. Toss them into a salad with protein, chicken, tuna, even steak. Add them as a side, like you would fruit at a diner. Mix them into a quinoa or grain bowl for a boost of color and fiber. No fancy prep. Just rinse and eat. You'll feel lighter after the meal, with steadier energy through the afternoon. 3. Dinner. A simple swap for dessert or bread. Dinner is where many men feel most weighed down. Heavy meats, rich sauces, starchy sides. Here's how berries can help. Eat them as a light dessert after your main meal. Pair them with a spoon of almond butter or cottage cheese for recovery. Mix into warm oats with cinnamon for a comforting nighttime finish. And if you usually reach for bread or sweets after dinner, let the berries do the job, without the blood sugar crash. Checkmark bonus tip. Keep a frozen bag of berries in your freezer at all times. They're affordable, last longer, and can be added to meals in seconds, no excuses. And if you're worried about sugar? Berries are some of the lowest sugar fruits you can eat, with more benefits per bite than almost anything else in the produce aisle. So no matter how you eat, simple, traditional, or a little all over the place, there's room for berries. They don't take over your meal. They simply bring it back into balance. Next, I'll show you what can happen if you try this for just 1 week. One handful at a time, real changes start to show up. Let's move into that next. You don't need 6 months. You don't need a complicated diet plan. You don't even need to stop eating the foods you love. You just need 7 days. 7 days of adding berries to your meals, and paying attention to what your body tells you. Because here's the truth. When your body finally gets what it's been missing, it doesn't take long to respond. Here's the 7-day challenge. Right arrow step 1. Add 1/2 cup of berries to at least 2 meals per day. Right arrow step 2. Make no other changes, just observe. Right arrow step 3. Each night, take 30 seconds to notice how you feel after eating, how well you're sleeping, how clear your mind is the next morning. What men typically notice by day 1 to 2. You feel a little lighter after meals. Less sluggish. Fewer cravings for sweets or snacks. Day 3 to 4. Afternoon energy starts to feel steadier. You're not crashing after lunch or nodding off at 4 p.m. Digestion improves, less bloating, less heaviness. Day 5 to 6. You may wake up feeling clearer. Blood pressure readings may be slightly lower. You feel more present during the day, more in your body, less on autopilot. Day 7. This is the day most men say, "I didn't realize how off I felt, until I started feeling good again." That's the quiet power of giving your body something it actually needs. Not a stimulant. Not a gimmick. Just a fruit that works with your biology. Light bulb tip. If you're tracking anything, blood pressure, blood sugar, or even just mood, log it before and after this 7-day trial. The difference may surprise you. Because what you're doing isn't just about food. It's about changing the way your body recovers after every meal. So if you're ready, commit to this. 1 handful. 1 plate. Every day for 7 days. And let your body remind you what it feels like to function better, without effort, without restriction. Next, I want to speak to you directly. Not as a doctor, but as someone who believes in second chapters, and the men who choose to write them. If no one's told you this lately, let me be the first. You're not too late. Not too late to feel strong again. Not too late to change how your body responds. Not too late to feel proud of the man you are, inside and out. Most men over 60 were never taught how to nourish themselves. You were taught to power through. To tough it out. To eat what's easy, fill your belly, and move on with the day. But here's the truth, power without nourishment eventually runs dry. And what I want you to know, deep down, is this. Right finger your meals don't just fill your stomach. They send messages to your heart, your brain, your hormones, your future. And when you add the right ingredients, just a handful of the right fruit, you're not just eating better. You're healing from the inside out. 1 bite at a time. 1 day at a time. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul. You don't need to punish yourself for past habits. You just need a starting point. And this is it. That half cup of berries is more than food, it's a decision. A quiet act of self-respect. A way of saying, I still care about how I feel. I still believe I can do better. I'm not finished. Because you're not. You're not broken. You're not beyond repair. And you are absolutely not too old to change. This is your second chapter. And it can start with something as simple as what's on your plate. So tomorrow, when you sit down to eat, remember this: you're not just feeding your hunger. You're feeding your comeback. Now that you've heard the why, the how, and the real-life proof, there's only one question left. Will you try it? Not next week. Not after the next doctor's appointment. But today, with your very next meal. This doesn't require you to change who you are. It doesn't demand perfection. It just asks for one thing: a small choice. Made with intention. Repeated with care. So here's your simple challenge: right finger add 1/2 cup of berries to 2 meals a day for the next 7 days. No rules. No pressure. Just show up and notice what changes. If you're willing to give it a shot, type, "I'm in the comments below. Let me know which meal you'll start with. And if you've already tried this, tell me what you've noticed. Your story might be the spark for another man who's on the fence. And if this video reminded you of someone, a friend, a brother, a neighbor, a man you respect, share it with him. You never know who's quietly looking for a way back to feeling like himself again. And sometimes, all it takes is a little fruit, a little hope, and a friend who cared enough to send the link. If you want more honest, no-pressure health tools like this, designed for men over 60 who are ready for a comeback, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because I'll be here every week with more natural, practical ways to help you rebuild from the inside out. One fruit. Every meal. One comeback. Not flashy. Not complicated. But exactly what your body has been waiting for. It's not about doing everything. It's about starting with something. And that something can start today.